8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Lal Mallavarachi, assisted by Sanjaya and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headlines. Alternative proposals with regard to the payment of ₹1,000 minimum daily wage to the estate workers will be submitted to the Cabinet. The COPA has decided to publicise the institutions that are not paying tax. The total count of COVID-19 cases in Sri Lanka reached 46,503. The number of recoveries rose to 39,661. The government will continue the Suraksha student insurance scheme. Customs sees largest haul of ecstasy in history. In news overseas, the US Congress certifies Biden win after Trump supporters wreak havoc in the capital. Minister Nimal Siripal de Silva says that alternative proposals with regard to the payment of ₹1,000 minimum daily wage to estate workers will be submitted to the Cabinet of Ministers on Monday. A discussion in this connection was held at the Ministry of Labour with the participation of the representatives of the Estate Company Administration, estate owners and trade unions. However, the discussion ended without reaching any decision. The minister stressed that the government will never change its decision to pay a minimum daily wage of ₹1,000 to the estate workers. The Committee on Public Accounts has reached a decision to publicise all institutions that have failed to pay taxes by submitting a list to media outlets. The chairman of the committee, Professor Tissa Vitarana, instructed the Inland Revenue Department to submit to the committee a list of institutions who have failed to pay taxes within 2 months. Auditor General WPC Wickramaratne, addressing the committee, said steps should be taken to recover the taxes that are due as soon as possible. The Committee on Public Accounts also took into discussion the need for the Ministries of Justice and Finance to work together in order to expedite the settlement of a number of inland revenue cases pending in courts. The Commissioner General of Inland Revenue, HMWC Bandara, raised the need to amend laws pertaining to tax deficits expeditiously. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The total count of COVID-19 cases reported in Sri Lanka reached 46,503 as 255 more persons tested positive for the virus. Reportedly, 201 of the new cases are close contacts of the Paliagoda Fish Market cluster. The remaining 54 cases have been identified from the prisons cluster. As per the Health Ministry's data, 39,661 of the confirmed patients have made complete recoveries from the virus. However, 6,623 active cases are still under medical care at select hospitals and treatment centres. Meanwhile, the prison's media spokesman Chandana Ekanayaka told the SLBC that 4,169 cases have been identified in prisons so far. Among them are 128 officials. The maximum number of infections, 877, have been reported from the Valikada prison. The Sri Lanka Customs Narcotic Control Unit today seized what turned out to be the largest haul of ecstasy pills in the country's history so far. It is believed to be worth over ₹140 million from a personal package sent from Belgium. The Customs Narcotics Control Unit officials are presently engaged in counting the number of tablets, which is believed to be over 20,000 and weighs over 9 kilograms. The contraband was sent as imported cat food and kept among a package of personal effects addressed to local resident who had not shown up to claim the goods for weeks. That's local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The government will continue the Suraksha student insurance scheme initiated by the previous government. The Ministry of Education and the Sri Lanka Insurance Corporation have signed the relevant agreement recently. Accordingly, it has been extended to the 1st of December this year. The Ministry of Education says the Suraksha scheme will benefit some 4.2 million students in all the government schools, the Pirivenas and the private schools, as well as those in international schools.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepha.
And now in Watch Life, the Election Commission has requested the members of the public to ensure if their names are listed in the electoral register for the year 2020. Electoral registers can be accessed by contacting the Grama Niladhari in one's respective area or via the official website of the election body www.elections.gov.lk. Any individual who does not have their name listed in the electoral register has been requested to inform the Grama Niladhari before the 19th of January. Any inquiries can be lodged by dialing 0112 860031 or 0112 860032. Once again, any inquiries can be lodged by dialing the numbers 0112 860031 or 0112 860032.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In world news headlines, US Congress certifies Biden win after Trump supporters wreak havoc in the capital. Japan declares state of emergency for Tokyo area as COVID-19 cases surge. Chinese city of 11 million stops people leaving in bid to contain COVID. Hours after hundreds of President Donald Trump's supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol in harrowing assault on American democracy, a shaken Congress today formally certified Democrat Joe Biden's election victory. Immediately afterwards, the White House released a statement from Trump in which he pledged an orderly transition when Biden is sworn into office on January 20th, although he repeated his false claim that he won the November election. Just the previous day, the Republican president had seemingly incited a mob to swarm the Capitol seeking to overturn the election result. Japan declared a limited state of emergency in the capital Tokyo and 3 neighboring prefectures today to stem the spread of the coronavirus, resisting calls from some medics for wider curbs due to the economic damage they would cause. The government said the 1-month emergency would run from Friday to February 7th in Tokyo and Saitama, Kanagawa and Chiba, covering about 30% of the country's population. Restrictions would center on combating transmission in bars and restaurants, which the government says are main risk areas. The capital and largest city in northern China's Hebei province barred people from leaving on Thursday in an effort to curb the spread of the coronavirus, as the country reported the biggest rise in daily infections in more than 5 months. Hebei accounted for 51 of the 52 local cases reported by the National Health Commission on Thursday. This compared with 20 cases reported in the province, which surrounds Beijing a day earlier. Authorities in Shijiazhuang, home to 11 people, have launched mass testing drives and banned gatherings to reduce the spread of the coronavirus. And now the main points of the World News segment once again. US Congress certifies Biden win after Trump supporters wreak havoc in the capital. Japan declares state of emergency for Tokyo area as COVID-19 cases surge. Chinese city of 11 million stops people leaving in bid to contain COVID.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always. All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
And now in development news, a project which was first initiated when President Gotabaya Rajapaksa was the then Secretary to the Ministry of Defence and Urban Development saw the completion of its first phase when a housing complex for Paliagoda was launched yesterday in keeping with the country's national policy framework Vistas of Prosperity and Splendour. The housing complex model was developed following a survey which identified that there are nearly 68,894 shanties in the city of Colombo. The target was to ensure that there were at least 18,000 homes built by 2015. However, the project stalled in the following year and could not be completed. That was development news, and now in sports news, the Tokyo 2020 organizers say they will be ready to host the Olympic Games despite the city declaring a state of emergency over COVID-19. The rescheduled games are set to take place between the 23rd of July and the 8th of August. Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga said there was a sense of crisis as he announced emergency COVID-19 plans. Organizers said this declaration of emergency offers an opportunity for Tokyo 2020 to plan for a safe and secure games this summer. Tokyo recorded 2,447 new COVID-19 cases on Thursday, and the latest measures primarily target restaurants and bars, which will be asked to stop serving alcohol by 7 p.m. and close an hour later. That was sports news, and now in business news, the Colombo Stock Exchange closed trading for the day, recording a daily turnover of 9.14 billion rupees. The benchmark all-share price index gained 61.08 points to close at 7,097.84, while S&P SL20 index of more liquid stocks dropped by 10.63 points to end at 2,692.56. Meanwhile, today, 74 companies positively contributed to the ASPI's gain, and 123 companies contributed negatively. Browns Investments PLC made the highest contribution to the ASPI's gain and also emerged as a top contributor to the turnover with 4 billion rupees and accounted for 44% of the total turnover.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Congratulations on your promotion. It will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The chairman of the Committee on Public Finance, Anurupriya Darshanayapa, instructed the Ministry of Finance officials to submit an impartial and investigative report to the Parliament on whether consumers will benefit from the sugar tax revision, stated the Parliament of Sri Lanka. The chairman of the Finance Committee emphasised that although the tax on the price of imported sugar was revised to 25 cents from 50 rupees per kilogram through the Gazette notification number 2197/12 issued by the Ministry of Finance on the 13th of October 2020, it did not benefit the consumers at all. Meanwhile, the chairman further instructed the Ministry of Finance to officials to submit a report to the committee on whether the revision of the tax on steel tars imported for construction will also benefit the general consumers.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
No, Amma. We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
Oh, really? How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy. She might be feeling very uncomfortable. The airport must be heavily crowded because it's a season.
Amma, calm down. Everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. There's nothing to worry.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And now for the weather report. The Met Department says showers will occur tomorrow at several places in the northern, eastern, north central and Uva provinces. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places elsewhere in the afternoon. That was the weather report, and now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. Alternative proposals with regard to the payment of ₹1,000 minimum daily wage to the estate workers will be submitted to the Cabinet. The COPA has decided to publicise the institutions that are not paying tax. The total count of COVID-19 cases in Sri Lanka reached 46,503. The number of recoveries rose to 39,661. The government will continue the Suraksha student insurance scheme. Customs seized largest haul of ecstasy in history. In news overseas, the US Congress certifies Biden win after Trump supporters wreak havoc in the Capitol. That concludes this news broadcast, and now it's back to, well, your good friends and mine as well, Soundhi Savam on the other side and Victor Raj as well on the other side, coincidentally, both in navy blue this Thursday night. Over to the two of you, Soundhi and Victor, to keep our listeners in great company this first Thursday of the year with a series of new programs, or should I say, the two of you together. Over to the two of you.